Hey everyone, it's Coach Matt again, coming to you with part 2 of our friend Kunal's question. Now yesterday he sent sort of like a 3-part email that basically asked about glide versus rotational technique, asked about exploding out of the back of the circle. We got those questions answered for you in yesterday's video and up on the blog yesterday. Today we're going to cover the second part of his question, which is a little bit trickier. And this part of the question, he says, another thing that I've observed with top gliders is that they tend to stay low even after they come into the power position. I tend to stand upright. How can I improve on this? Now, short question, short part of the email, but really one of the most difficult things for throwers to understand. Now, I say it all the time, where taking off in the back of the circle out of the shot put and landing in the middle of that shot needs to be like a plane taking off the ground, where basically it's on level ground. The plane is level, it's on the runway, it's going forward, and then when it reaches its top speed, that's when it starts to take off into the air. The shot put, the path of the shot put, and the path of basically your body from the waist up is going to be just like that airplane. And what I mean by that is you're going to start low in the back of the circle, you're going to come back nice and level, and then you're going to explode up just like that plane. So one of the things we need to talk about is sort of the I don't know if you want to call it path, or the direction that that shot put takes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hold in my hand a yellow kettlebell. Yellow, it's a bright color, and you're going to be able to see it here on the screen. But basically, you can look at, this is actually an 8-kilo kettlebell, so it's about 17.5 pounds. It's heavier than what you're going to find the men using, but it's something that we can do here to kind of give you guys a good idea. If you take a look at this kettlebell, when we're in the back of the circle, say this kettlebell here is the back of the circle. When we're in the back of the circle, we've got it up against our neck. When it's here, say you start and your head is nice and low, and that shot put, again, is right in this area. Okay, so we've got the shot, it's right in this area. As you glide back and land in that power position, what you want to avoid is basically adding turbulence, kind of making that shot go in a different direction. So we want that shot to come back and then throw up at the end. Okay? So the shot's low, the shot stays low, and it comes up at the end as you explode. That's the point. Now, what happens in a lot of beginner throwers is the shot starts low, it then humps in the air to high, and then gets thrown. So it's got sort of a hump in the middle, from low to medium, and the reason for that is we tend to throw, when we're younger, using our upper body. When you come out of the back of the circle, you have to use your lower body. Now, you have to think of your waist up as being like a bust of a president. If you've ever gone into a college and seen a bust of the college president, if you've ever gone to Washington, D.C., you see these busts of presidents, and it's from the waist up. It just sits on a pedestal. That's what your body needs to do as well. I don't have my throwing shoes on here, so hopefully this comes out good. But a lot of times what we see with beginner athletes is they're down in this low position, and what will happen is that they'll actually use their back to help propel them through the circle. So it looks like this. And you see my hand made that hump. So a lot of times you're not strong enough to start really low, explode back, and stay really low. What we're looking to do is, as we explode out of the back of the circle, we're looking to take this leg and simply pull this leg underneath us. So we're not going to be jumping backwards. We're not going to be exploding backwards. And the way that you train this, okay, the way that you can really get this moving is to start kind of high and then work your way down. So what I mean is If you normally start here, stand up a little bit and just try to keep that shot nice and level. Nice and quick, nice and level. Then, once you've done that for a few days and you've worked on keeping it nice and level, go down a little bit more and try to keep it nice and level. Okay, try not to make that hump in the middle. This is where throwing shoes would be nice. Then at the end, get nice and low, just like you normally would be. Explode off this back heel and try to stay nice and low. Now in that, you'll probably be nitpicky and see a little hump. That's okay, especially if you're just starting off with this technique. What you don't want to see is that big hump, the path of that shot going up and then down again. Now think back, just like an airplane. You want that thing nice and flat and level and taking it off. If you were ever in an airplane and you looked down the runway, you looked out the window, and you saw that in the middle of the runway was a big hump or a big hill or speed bumps or big dips and lulls and valleys, you would never want to be on that plane. That plane's never going to take off in the air if the runway is a bunch of curves and a bunch of bumps and speed bumps and hills and dips. That plane's never going to take off the ground. Same thing with the shot. If that shot, the path of that shot put has all these bumps and all these dips in it, you're going to be taking power away from that throw, and you're not going to be throwing at your full potential. So you have to make sure it just takes practice. Start up high, let the shot come across, and then explode. Go a little bit lower, let the shot come across, and explode. Then go to your lowest, to where you want to start. Keep the shot nice and low, and explode up. You just need to train at it, you just need to work at it. Really work on taking that leg and sucking that leg up underneath you. Don't jump back into the throw. Move your body back and quickly suck that leg underneath you. Guys, it's Coach Matt, Kunal. Awesome questions. I love getting questions like this. A lot of people, these are problems that throwers all over the world are having. And we're starting to get questions from Australia, from India, from England. We're getting questions from Alaska, Hawaii, America, South America, Mexico. We're getting questions from all over the world on throwing. And I love answering these questions. So if you guys have any specific questions, you're not just going to be helping out your team, you're not just going to be helping out yourself, you're going to be helping people from all over the country and all over the world to improve their throwing technique on a daily basis. This is something where you guys can really help out by asking your questions. So go to primalatc.com, leave your questions in the comment field, or you can email me directly. You can leave your questions on our Facebook page, on Primal Athlete Training Center on the Facebook page, or you can leave the comments under these videos on YouTube. Either way, they come right to my phone, and after a long day of training here of all my athletes here at Primal, what I do is these videos, put them up on the blog for you, and help you guys out on a daily basis. So I hope to hear from you soon.